How's it going, people? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all good and well. It's been a little while for one of these. I was meant to do a Brentford preview, a Brentford review. What for? In all honesty, I'm only here today because of the Kroenke out news, the protest news and all that. And I will touch on Brentford and Aubameyang and Lacazette and some of the same old problems we're having behind the so-called scenes when it's right in front of us. What a start to the season. What a start to the season. Make sure you guys hit the like button as you come in, people. Over 100 people already in the first minute. Come on, love for the love. But what a start to the season. Literally, you saw the Big Six. I assume you've seen the Big Six and the graphics for that. Big up hashtag creations for that. He's helped a lot with the graphics for the Big Six. And he's helped a lot with graphics for my other shows too, like the preview and the review show. But I haven't been able to launch it yet. Well, I have been able to launch it, but the reason being, I have no desire to continue talking about this club's performances over 90 minutes. What am I actually doing? What are we actually doing? What is everyone actually doing talking about 90-minute performances when we know before going into that game that 90-minute performance, more times than not, is not going to live up to what we would expect at the bare minimum? I'm tired of going into games now thinking, you know what? Let's just hope for the best. I've gone through that stage now where hoping blindly, leads to nothing. All right, there is a few FA Cups in there, and don't get me wrong, I do value the FA Cup. I rate the FA Cup. But in reality, a lot of that blind hope and blind positivity was used to manipulate us more and drag us more into where we are now, the deep end. And it's hard to get out when you can't swim in the deep end. We are drowning, literally. Eighth, and then losing to the newly promoted side in the first game of the season. And I keep on saying newly promoted. They was the one that was promoted through the playoffs. Now, I'm not saying that means, Norwich are better than Brentford or whatever else. What I'm saying is, if you go into a season wanting to play a team, you're more than likely going to want to play the team that had to qualify through the playoffs in the Championship to get into the Premier League. Albeit it was away, but come on. As much as people talk about Arsenal's nerves and the pressure of the fan base, how much nerves must the Brentford players have had? Their first game in the Premier League for how long? But people dismiss that because of their performance and, their heart, great determination and the 2-0 win. Justified. By Arsenal, it all comes down to nerves. It all comes down to character, mentality. It all comes back down to the manager. And all them issues I've just said, the manager, the players, they are big issues at this club. But those big issues, in my opinion, won't get resolved by focusing on just those issues. That's why I keep on talking about Kroenke. That's why I'm fed up of talking about Kroenke. Because people, I get it. You only want to focus on the here and now, what can have an immediate effect, an immediate change. And that is the manager, let's be honest, Arteta. He will be sacked this season. He will definitely be gone before Kroenke. I don't know if he'll be gone before Edu or whether they'll go together or whether they'll go back to back. I don't know. I don't care. What I do know is there's going to be change at that level before there's any change at ownership level. That is true. And I get that. It's easier to change those positions as fans by applying pressure than any other. But at the same time, as much as we want to get Arteta out and some of the players out, and questioning character mentality, getting Edu out because of some of the transfer business and nonsense he's told us in between, or lack of transfer business at times too. Who put these guys in place? Who thought hiring Arteta, who was never a manager, at the stage Arsenal were in at that time, which was pretty much in the gutter, who thought that was a good idea? And then people say Vinay, and I agree, it probably was Vinay. But who thought putting Vinay in that position was a good idea? Because Vinay ain't got the credentials for that position. Vinay ain't got the credentials for that position. Like Edu ain't got the credentials for that position. Like Arteta ain't got the credentials for this position. Like a lot of the players don't have the credential to get us into top four. That's what it comes down to. A lack of experience from top to bottom and all in between. When the one positivity at Arsenal Football Club is the young players coming through, the experience and even in the dressing room is up for question. It's a big problem. It's a big problem. 5 minutes in, people, make sure you guys hit the like button. Let me see what people are saying. Big up Soph, man. I hope you're good, Soph. Hope you're having a good day. You always say how you feel in such a respectful manner. I don't know about that sometimes, so sometimes I do lose it. Sometimes I can be disrespectful, but at the same time, it's, more often off the back of bad news, a bad defeat, a bad performance. And I hold my hands up sometimes and have to say, it hurts. But more often than not, I do try to keep it respectful, and I appreciate that. Says Soph. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much, Soph. Love for the love. You already know. Let me scroll up a bit to the top of the chat and see what's going out. Of course we do, my guy. That's exactly what we need. Mus, you saw me on the Big Six. About were you on the Big Six? Didn't seem to have a lot to say. Well, I'm saying it all now. I forget now the Big Six is on my channel. I got rival fans here as well. So, it is what it is. Let me see what people are saying. Come on, people. High Tech, I see you there, man. Mustafa says, Liverpool owners are worse than Kroenkes. They made one signing only. Just because Liverpool owners made one signing only this summer doesn't mean you can't find that same exact example with the Kroenkes in other summers. There was a summer we didn't buy an outfield player. So beat that one. And I always say that Liverpool's owners are more of the ilk of Glazers and Kroenkes than they are Mansours and Abramovich. Just they won a league title in the Champions League because they got the right experience in the right places. Now that's the difference, because even at Man United, I'd say there's a lack of experience in vital boardroom positions that stop the club from moving forward efficiently following Alex Ferguson. But I don't care about Man United right now. With Arsenal, inexperience we just talked about, Liverpool got that bit right. Their owners FSG got that bit right. And that's where they reap the rewards of Champions League and Premier League. It wasn't like they changed transfer philosophy and started doing a mad thing. They sold Coutinho. They had a good asset there, 140 mil or so. They brought in a couple solid signings on top of good recruitment in and around it. And, they won stuff. And I know a lot of people look at them as the example, of doing it in a sustainable manner and this and that. And I get it. But at the same time, Klopp is a gem. Like Pep is a gem. Klopp is a gem. And those managers have been battling it out recently. The last one to break that up, I believe, was Conte, who's another gem, who's actually available. But our club are not interested. Why? Because there's no interest in moving forward. There's more interest in pulling wool over our eyes as fans than moving forward at this club. Deep that. There's more interest on them selling merchandise, selling tickets. They emailed the other day saying friends and family and all of this stuff. I'm not even going to the Chelsea game on Sunday. I've got no desire to go to the Chelsea game on Sunday. I'll be at the protest 100%, but I ain't going into the stadium to watch that, because at the end of the day, I've got to want to go, and I've got to believe in, even if it's 5% of me, I've got to believe heading into a stadium. I can't go in there knowing, that regardless of what happens today, we're fucked. It doesn't help. It doesn't help if I've got maybe no banner ready for Kroenke. I'll just be there. So I've got no desire to go into that stadium and see what is going to happen this Sunday. I've got a lot more desire for the protest. Now, on the subject of the protest, I know a lot of people are dismissing it. And I get that, because the last big protest, which was obviously before Everton, dwindled towards the end of the season. And the protest against Brighton was 10% of the numbers, let's say. 10% of the numbers. And I get, when you're looking at that, you think, what hope is there? What's the point of me wasting my energy to come to a protest? What's the point in wasting my energy promoting a protest? It's, not going to do nothing, But my thing is, if you're not believing in the manager, if you're not believing in the players, if you're not believing in the club right now, then you've got to believe something, and you've got to believe that one day it will change. And giving up because maybe other people have given up isn't the best reason to give up, I'd say, if that makes sense. I'm not saying waste your time. I'm not saying there's not bigger priorities, because there are. But I just know for me on a match day, being a season ticket holder, I go to games. So I can go to a protest. I can still show my face. I can still offer my support. I can still promote. That's something I can do, and do I think this Sunday is going to be massive? I don't think it'll be massive. I think there'll be good numbers there, but I don't think it'll be massive. But at the same time, the first game of the season against Chelsea, when tickets are not even sold out, well, right now they might be, but last night they still wasn't sold out for Chelsea. You look at some of the prices there, you look at the performance against Brentford in the transfer window we just had. I think the fans have every right to be protesting. And I think we should be protesting, because as much as the Kroenkes in this club have taken the piss in the last 10, 15 years, this one in particular, this summer, is even madder than the rest. And I just think to myself, how do you get worse than, some of these windows I've mentioned, like Bayern, Czech and no one else outfield, the only club in the top 5 leagues not to do that? How do you beat things like that? Well, you beat it by finishing 8th in a season and going into the next season worse off than you was at the end of last season. That's how you beat it. And spending 75 mil in between. That's how you beat it. I don't know, man. I don't know. Big up everyone. 600 people here. Make sure you guys hit the like button if you haven't already. Neil says, keep fighting, Turkish. That's, you know what? You keep fighting. That's what I'd promote. Keep fighting. And it doesn't have to be protests. It doesn't have to be protests. I know a lot of people keep on saying to me, plan the next one. And protest is a good way. It's a big way. It's not the only way. There's other facets to applying pressure and things that need to come off the back of protests that kind of haven't been done yet, in my opinion. At Arsenal, we've had a few protests now where off the back of it, it dwindles. Where I think off the back of it, there should be a campaign, or there should be a body to follow. There should be, not one voice, but one platform where, the people are united on that platform. So people know, what to do next. If the protest happens, what's after that? And it doesn't mean what's the next protest. It means that what can we do after that? Not buying merchandise, not watching this game in particular, maybe one day. Imagine there was a platform that's telling 1 million Arsenal fans, do not watch the game on this particular day on TV. That's going to have an effect on the TV numbers, money, and all of that stuff that they deal with over there. And, they ask questions in and amongst themselves. We don't know what's going to happen, because they don't come out and vocally say these things. So, for example, I actually think shirt sales have been impacted in the past. Well, in this new shirt release, I think shirt sales have gone down, and I think we won't know that until 2022, maybe late 2022, when the numbers start coming in all round and then they start releasing them. We won't know that until then. So, as much as we're looking at now and people are saying, people are still going to buy the merchandise. And yes, there's a lot of people still buying merchandise, but I do have faith that it's gone down. Man United's went down 10% for them to be affected financially through the TeamViewer and Chevrolet crossover. 10%. So it's not like we need, 80% of the, well, it'd be ideal, but 80% of the fan base to stop buying shirts. 10, 20% would have a major impact in the money these lot are dealing with, especially with Arsenal, because Arsenal deal with such fine margins. Why do you think we lose out to Villa for Buendia because of a 10% sell-on clause or $1 million? Why do you think we offer Ben White 45 million for Ben White, but 7-8 weeks later we get the deal done at 50 million? Because in between that time we're trying to do 46 million, 46.8 million, 47.3 million, all of this nonsense, because we deal with fine margins. So 10%, 20% effect on the merchandise and maybe TV and all that, I honestly believe will have an effect. And it's not an effect we'll see tomorrow. It's not like we'll stop watching a game one day, or we won't buy merchandise this summer and tomorrow a new story comes out. Companies worried. It's going to take time. I believe the Super League news and nonsense, and then the backlash from there, and the transfer window and the start of this season have all had a part to play in the start of what I believe is genuine majority concern, where a lot of people have stopped buying merchandise. A lot of people don't go to games no more. Look at the tickets available for Chelsea. Imagine if the first home game, a London derby, not only a London derby, it's Chelsea. And it wasn't sold. Well, like I said, I haven't checked today, but it wasn't sold out up until yesterday, 6 days before the game. That's mad. Emailing out friends and family. This summer, they emailed me a couple of times saying, if you want a new shirt, you can now get it with a name and number for 20% off, or some shit like that. Some shit like that. Let me just get these super chats in before they leave the screen. Yanis, my guy, I was actually going to message you the other day, man. We haven't talked in a little while. So, yeah, hope you're good and well, my guy. Well, to be honest, it's probably me because I don't do these videos much on the channel no more. But hope you're good. Family's all well, everything. Let's see what you're saying. Don't know what people expect. We need 5-6 upgrades in the starting lineup alone. Okay, replace Arteta, but the team is piss poor. We need to rip the team apart. 5th, 10th, it's the same to me. I want a top team. Something Yanis, already. Something I say for a long time. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. We didn't apply pressure to Wenger and that period to now accept what we're seeing now. Let's be honest here. Like what sense did it make to get to that point of aggressiveness and frustration and anger with a legend in Wenger, and then let the owners off the hook, literally a day after Wenger announces that he wants to go, or he's going. It's like, who's the next manager? That's the focus. No, the focus should have been, do your job properly now. And it hasn't been done properly. We've gone back to manager. We got fed. I can't believe Arsenal Football Club are back to the manager role. And I'm not saying I can't believe it because I think it makes that much of a difference. What I can't believe is, as a fan base, we got frustrated with Arsene Wenger for saying, what's a director of football is directing traffic. Remember them quotes? We got frustrated because we were like, Wenger, get with the times, my guy. Come on, Arsene. It was frustrating because it seemed like he was ignorant. We wanted that structure because we saw other clubs, succeeding with that structure. And then 2 years after being so frustrated with Arsene and the managerial structure, we've gone back to that managerial structure, but with Mikel Arteta, who at the time he was given the manager role was 7 months into being a manager or being a head coach or running a football team. Like, what more do we need to see to know that these decisions are not the right decisions to be making? And we can hope and pray, but the time that goes by while we're hoping and praying essentially adds to the continued downfall. I don't get it. Edward. I was actually waiting for you, Edward. I thought you'd pop up on Big Six. I said it to the rest of the guys. Remember Edward, who talked about Brentford the other day. What did I tell you, Turkish? Brentford 2-0. You actually did say that. Up the bees. Anyways, loving the stream, bro. Keep it up. Thank you for the support, Edward, the super chat. And yeah, good performance over there. Good performance. I actually, when I spoke to Billy the Bee and I was at the club were very welcoming. It was me that actually, communicated with the club to get access into the stadium and whatnot. When I saw the stadium and, spoke to a few of the fans and Marcus Gale and whatnot, Brentford's a nice little club. And I don't take offense to little, I mean the stadium and whatnot. That really reminds me of the old days. I like small stadiums because look what this commercial powerhouse of a stadium done for us, I like Brentford, so I wish Brentford the best of luck for the rest of the season. Just not when you come over to the Emirates. I wouldn't be surprised. Growing Simba says, salute Turkish. With no champions and Europa League distractions, surely that's a free run to win the league for Arsenal. This is what the Big Six does. It brings rival fans to this channel, and here they are. Edward from Brentford, and I don't know who you support, my guy. I forgot, I'll be honest. But even without Europe, it's going to be a mad season for Arsenal. Yeah, like you know that whole. Yes, I've wanted a season without Europe, and I've said this before, but the reason I've wanted a season without Europe is to finally show that there's no excuses. This ownership like doesn't care, and this is the season without Europe, and they've shown they don't care. So this season, not having Europe is not going to be that saving grace that a lot of Arsenal fans think it will be in terms of competing in the league and top four, not for the league, but top four and top six and whatever else. It's going to aid to the exposing of this ownership and the manager and Edu and Vinay and all of them, And don't get me wrong, I keep on saying ownership because if the owner goes, the rest follow. The rest follow because another competent, ambitious owner hopefully comes in, and a competent, ambitious owner doesn't keep what he sees now. That goes from board to, CEO, director, football manager, and players. So as much as, people say to me, and a lot of people say this to me, even on Twitter when I tweeted about the protest on Sunday, and I just put the hashtag Kroenke out and hashtag Sell Arsenal. A lot of people are like, if it's Arteta out, I'm there. You forgot to mention Arteta and Edu. And I didn't forget to mention them. It's just that I feel like I don't need to mention them anymore because it's evident. It's so evident that they're not good enough. But if they move on, the next ones are not going to be good enough either. So are we going to then focus on them too? Or are we finally going to see the manager? I mean, the owner, sorry. Who knows? It's all a guessing game. It's all a guessing game. It's all a guessing game. And that last bit of your super chat there, so I'm not even getting into that right now. Because there's technicalities behind that. That go back to before we were born and before Abramovich and all of that. So right now, yes, you are on a different planet to us. But historically, like I said, we'll leave that for another day, for the big six one day. I'm sure that will come up because that's all I've, growing up, when I, you know a couple of Liverpool fans, I used to say to them, like, why do you support Liverpool and that? It's not making sense. But in the end, here I am. My son will be supporting Arsenal and people will be asking him, why do you support Arsenal? Well, my dad does. So, it has to happen. I saw Troop's tweet the other day that his son said he wants to support Man City. And I've heard a lot of people's kids saying things like that because once they go school and start engaging and bantering about football, it's not easy to support a team that's letting you down during school period. It's not. And I say that because I was one of the kids at school supporting a team that was doing their thing, big players. So I knew how the other kids felt that we supported Tottenham and Chelsea and there was no City fans around them times in London, that's for sure. And whoever else them times, even Man United some years, some of them kids had to shut their mouths because they couldn't talk to us. Obviously, other years I had to shut mine in terms of Man United Arsenal rivalry, but now it's a very, dire period. War 159 says, when Chelsea fell out of Europe, they bought Kante. Very true. The year they finished 10th, they bought Kante off the champions. Wait, Leicester were, they bought Kante off the champions. Leicester were champions the year Chelsea finished 10th, right? Who have we bought? Not even a backup goalkeeper. And useless, Kroenke out. On the note of backup goalkeeper, today again, the Ramsdale thing have come out. The Ramsdale shit's come out again. And it makes me think, like, how if we do that, I should have got myself a glass of water because I knew this one was going to be one of those kind of streams where my mouth just gets dry talking about the state of this club. I'm seeing Leicester fans in there. I can't even fucking talk to Leicester fans. Turkish, cut the head off the snake, the rest will follow. Big up Kroenke out for the long haul. It is the long haul. It is the long haul. And again, when Daniel Ek and Henry and, them man said it's going to be a long journey, like, we have to listen to that because we should know that before them telling us. But that's been, that's been missed amongst all of the, where is Daniel Ek? And it was all for promotion and stuff. they said it's going to be a long journey, and this is a billionaire trying to take another billionaire's business when that billionaire doesn't want to leave. This is a chess game that's going to take time. So I won't apply no pressure on Daniel Egg. I'm going to wait, but at the same time, this protest might bring about another, interested party. I don't care for Daniel Egg because he's not the Arsenal owner right now. I care for the next Arsenal owner, and if it becomes a bidding war, if it becomes all of that, that's calm. That's calm. Because we don't know what Daniel Eck's fully about. Like, we won't know who the next guy's fully about until they come into the company. So there's the same. Daniel Eck came out of nowhere. So if we had a protest the size of that one against Everton, maybe another one comes out of nowhere, or another 3 comes out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, excitement builds again, because you might see a light at the end of the fucking tunnel again. That light dimmed when Usmanov went, and it hasn't, come about since. Kroenke got full control of Arsenal for 1 billion over the years, and that's now worth 2 billion. Add the fact that his family is worth 170 billion, it's an uphill battle. Exactly. It's like when Kroenke said to Daniel Ek, we don't need your money. Number one, we know, Daniel Ek knows, everyone knows you don't need the fucking money. But the fact he answered like that showed that he's either got something against the way the fans have gone about it, something against the way Daniel Ek's gone about it, maybe with the ambassadors and applying pressure. There's something there, because his back's up about it. And when you're in that sort of a relationship in terms of trying to do a deal, it's very hard. We know he doesn't need the money. We know he doesn't want to sell. And on top of that response seemed like he's unhappy with Daniel Ek or the fans, or, he's digging his heels in a sense. So even if he wanted to sell, he might just be like, you know what, fuck these. I don't need the money anyway. I could just let them suffer even more. Who knows? Let me put my charger in my iPad quickly before it dies, man. It's so mad. Where was we? Let me just go back quickly. Come on, Dean. I see you. Big up, bro. Triple Gaming. Joe Costa. Jade. Yanis again. People are too fixated on Arteta. If the club was run well, we would have a great team who would perform regardless. Poorly run for years and years and years. I just want to add to that and go back. If the club was run well, we would have a great team and a good manager who would perform regardless, So, again, that word is right, fixated. It depends what you're fixated on. Arteta out, I agree. Edu out, I agree. I'm done with Xhaka, I agree. I'm done with Bellerin, I agree. I'm done with about 4, 5, 6 other players in this side, I agree. But let's try and work out why we're done with so many players, why we're done with yet another manager, why we're done with the structure above the manager again. There's one constant there. The others are all variables that have changed along the last 10, 15 years. One constant remains. Yes, that constant went from, smaller ownership to larger ownership. But here we are, still fixated on the variables. And the variables can change. It doesn't mean, the problem's going to be solved. The constant is still there. It's tiring. And what did I see the other day? Kolasinac is still at Arsenal. Don't remind me, my bro. That's what I'm saying. What did I see the other day? I saw something that said, who was it? You know me, I don't care about saying Twitter names and all of this stuff. Someone on Twitter, you lot might know, put a thread up. They put a thread. And what were they saying in that thread? They were saying, everyone against Kroenke, like, please read this thread. Not please, but they was, trying to act smart and all that about it. And they said, when Kroenke, had 30% and 40% and all of this, not majority, not sole ownership. The thread went on to say, why would Kroenke invest into the club when the rewards he reaps would be shared with an Usmanov who he doesn't want or doesn't like? Yeah. And I get that. And I get that. I guess like if I'm in a business with someone and I'm saying to myself, all right, well, if I invest in this business but I don't like this guy with me, why am I gonna make him money when we need to sort out our situation right now? I get that. I get that. But what I don't get is if this guy next to me, even if I don't like him, says to me, yo, listen, I know you don't like me, but I want to give you like you money. I want to give the club money. Spend it, you know, spend it. Was it Bell? Was it Bell? Or are you telling me to check Bell? I don't know. Whichever one it is, go spend it and do what you need to get this club back. Because I want Wenger to spend that money. Yeah, that's Usmanov. Oh, Bell tweeted. Yeah, that's Usmanov. So Usmanov's saying he will invest, and I'm here reaping the rewards of his investment because Usmanov's the type to invest. You know, not solely, but because he cares more, because he wants to win, because you know he's in that kind of crowd of billionaires more so than the tight, stingy ones. So Kroenke and the club would have benefited. But they didn't even allow him on the board to do that. So all of that nonsense about why would Kroenke invest and make Usmanov money is nonsense because Usmanov had 30% of this club and we didn't allow him on the board. He could have funded a lot of things at this club, but we didn't allow him to do that. And him funding it would have reaped rewards for Kroenke. But because of hate towards him and probably his background and where he's from and all that, they didn't want no part of it. Imagine owning 30% or something and you can't even have a say. 30%. It's mad to me. Let me quickly go check what AFC Bell's tweeted. What is it? The AFC Bell. I don't follow these guys. Yeah, there we are. 4 minutes ago, we have James Maddison sitting on a football as the picture. Arsenal will ramp up their efforts this week and the remainder of the transfer market in their bid to sign Maddison. Official communication between clubs is expected to gain momentum very soon. The player is anticipating the outcome of the conversations with a high degree of interest. Top sources in the club confirmed to the account staff that the club is working to make progress in the Odegaard file in the same time frame mentioned above, and in parallel with at least another deal in the same position. We understand that this is a deal that Maddison with the club sees, according to what we have been told. His goal is You know what? This is bullshit. I'm gonna carry on reading it, and then I'm gonna tell you why. And this is making me think that AFC Bell is being paid by the club. I'll be honest, but we'll get into why. Arsenal are working on the two deals side by side in anticipation of any hurdles or deadlocks the club might face in trying to reach an agreement with Leicester City over the value of Maddison's deal. This guy just stretching it out. Arsenal sees it as having all the power in its negotiations with Madrid regarding one of its main goals, Martin Odegaard, and the preferred option after Maddison as a creative player. Listen, so AFC Bell, is he telling me here that Arsenal Football Club are going after Maddison and Odegaard at the same time and we want both? And you want me to believe that? This is why I'm going to say there's something wrong about that tweet and what's going on. Because the truth of the matter is, shall I tell you what I take from that? Shall I tell you what I take from that? We're going to get Odegaard and they're going to make it seem like we wanted Maddison on top of Odegaard. So we're all like, hey, yeah, we tried. No. Like, when have Arsenal done something like that? And yes, we're asking for them to do different, but like, come on. Number one, you've given Emil Smith-Rowe number 10 and a new contract. Fine. And then you're going to go buy Maddison and Odegaard on top of the options we've already got in those positions. Because the three behind the striker, we've already got Saka, Pepe, Emil Smith-Rowe, Martinelli. That's 4 players we want to see more of. Add one more into there, spend money elsewhere. You're telling me Maddison and Odegaard are of interest at the same time, and Arsenal are working to do deals for both. You must be kidding me. Heart to Heart says, Turkish always coming with the facts. Hashtag Kroenke out. Love for the love, my bro. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for all the engagement. There's 1,400 people here. How many likes we're on? We're not even on 400 likes. Nah, what's going on? Surely you guys have to hit the like button. Surely get it up to 1,000 likes. Get it up close to 1,000 likes. Where are we? What are you guys saying in the comments about it? Do you just a yes or a no? Do you think Arsenal are after Maddison and Odegaard? Yes or a no? I just want to get the vibe. Because I don't know where that optimism would come from, that we're after them two play. No. Yes, says RW. There's one yes. But we'll see. No. Mike says, I hope not. Nah, I'm not saying what I hope and what I don't hope here. I'm just saying that I don't see it likely because they're two big signings. They're two big players, big names, in terms of where we are right now. That's probably the highest level we're going to be able to reach in terms of bringing in younger names with high ceilings. Yes. Yeah, we're getting a few yeses in there now. AFC Bell gets things right like Partey. Listen, with the Partey one, yes, he did get it right. And even me, I put my hands up and said, yeah, he got it right. But at the same time, we're not after Maddison and Odegaard. It'd be Maddison or Odegaard, and it's going to be Odegaard because Odegaard is the cheaper option. I think Maddison's name is being circulated because, it's good to hear. It will keep fans pleased. There's a protest planned on Sunday, and there's news that we're after Maddison and Odegaard. Surprise, surprise. Where was we for the last 2.5 months then? Why is it now that we're after Maddison and Odegaard and we're in advanced talks and, it's very much the players are interested, the clubs are interested in selling, there's deals to be done. All of a sudden, Tuesday, 17th of August, our last Premier League game of last season was the 23rd of May. Whoa, what's going on? I can't believe that. I'll be honest. I ain't believing that we're after Maddison and Odegaard. I think we'll get Odegaard, and I'm happy with Odegaard. I'm happy, but I'm not happy. We're not getting a right back. That's what I'm not happy about. I'm not happy we couldn't sell Bellerin to Inter because, we're moving funny. I'm not happy we couldn't sell Xhaka to Roma because we're moving funny about the P's. At the end of the day, 15 mil for Xhaka and 15 mil for Bellerin, or 12 mil, whatever they wanted him for. Take it. Close enough to 30 mil, two players. You've sold Willock on top, 55 mil. You've got 55 mil on top of this so-called interest to Maddison and Odegaard. You can fucking get an attacking mid, a right back, and a centre mid somewhere in there. But, all of this is a smokescreen. It's to quell a fire. The fans are vexed again. There's talk of a protest again. Here you go. Here's some information for you that might. Yeah, Inter went for Dumfries, but they was interested in Bellerin. They went for Dumfries in the end because we probably priced them out or overvalued him like we did with Roma and Xhaka. I remember people telling me, it's funny, people, if I go back to quote tweets and that, people are like, remember when it came out that Xhaka contract and whatnot, people are like, Turkish is a fool, he'll believe anything. That is obviously a ploy to get Roma to spend more. Roma went and offered 35 million for Tammy Abraham and said, "I fuck off with that 20 million valuation for Xhaka." But what do? Here you go, mate. There's a contract, there's a pay rise, and there's the captain's armband. Hurrah! Yeah. Let's see what's saying. Brian says 2 things can be true. Arsenal can want both Odegaard and Maddison, but they don't have the bollocks to actually attempt to sign both amidst protest. Yeah. I guess. Yeah, I agree with you. We can want both, and we probably do want one of both. We'll take either. So I get that. And you're right. We don't have the bollocks. We don't have the negotiation tactics we've seen in the past. Like I said, the season ended a long time ago. We've already into this season. So there's been a lot of time passed for us all of a sudden to be going for 2 attacking mids. So what was we focused on before? We went for Buendia first. And then we abandoned that. Aston Villa got him. Then it was a whole heap of Xhaka to Roma and Neves, Locatelli and Basuma and this midfielder, that midfielder. That one dried up a bit. Xhaka came back round the corner. Oh, maybe a new contract. Oh, well, that's a surprise. In between that, Bellerin, Kolasinac, like these men are just there. The right back situation's a mess. We've got 4 right backs, 3 left backs. We've got 4 right backs, 3 left backs. In a 25-man, is it a 25-man squad or am I going mad? In a 25-man squad, we've got 4 right backs and 3 left backs. And I know Ainsley can play other positions and I know Chambers plays centre. But essentially, they're all being picked at right back. We've got... I'm going to go mad. Yes, but for very different reasons. All Edu and Vinay want is to continue providing green numbers for the owner whilst retaining their positions. The deepest thing is, Rich, there's no green numbers at Arsenal right now. Last 3 years, last 3 years, we've made a loss. And I know there's figures in and around there that's going to be skewed and whatnot, but 3 years, dead on loss. Yes, the value of the club has increased because of the market and all of that, but there's no more increasing in that. The TV deals and whatnot, if you look at other clubs, I mean, other leagues, they're all fake. They look like they're flailing, all the TV deals and the money involved and whatnot. I don't know how sustainable it is with the Premier League getting so much money from TV deals. So I don't think the value of Arsenal will go up off the football pitch anymore, especially with the Super League being behind closed curtains again. Let's be honest, it's still being talked about and whatnot. The Arsenal's valuation ain't increasing. So 3 years of losses. Now we're out of Europe. It's going to be definitely another 2 years of losses. That's 5 years of losses. This is why I'm slightly optimistic that if in the next year or two we can have a 10 to 20% impact on shirt sales. He's already made 3 years of losses with the club. 2 more years on top of that in the next, 2 guaranteed. That's 5 years of losses. Shirt sales going down, tickets, sales going down. Overall, all of these things having an impact might not force a sale because he doesn't need the money. So it's hard to force a sale, but it might persuade him to sell because at the end of the day, when you spend something, you don't want to, you don't want to lose out. So he spent $1 billion on us overall over the shares he bought over time, or just north of $1 billion. He's going to want, bare minimum a profit on that. At the moment, we'll value that double that, and that's going to go down. Let's be honest, the way we're being run right now, that's going to go down. So right now, I'm seeing a lot of avenues that's going to not hurt him because I know he's a billionaire and I know he doesn't give a shit. But give him something to consider. Because if he's got a loss-making business that's got no light at the end of the tunnel and another man is offering you double the worth of it, yes, at the beginning you might be vexed and say, fuck this guy, man. The way he's doing it is yet like, who does he think I am? But 2 years, 1 year later, more losses and you're looking at it like, I don't care about this club and this guy's giving me 2 billion. You might as well give it to me, man. More fool you. Because I doubt Stan Kroenke blames himself for us. He probably thinks, there's nothing he can do about it. Respect for everything you do, Turkish, says Boris, but please also mention the protest on AFTV. I will do 100%. I'm looking to do a debate with, well, not a debate, but maybe like a have your say kind of video on AFTV in the next few days, where it's going to be like this, me here or in the office talking to you guys, and we're going to talk to the AFTV viewers and whatnot about the protest, because I know what I'm in for when I come on my channel. We all know what it is already. We know what it is with Kroenke and the club. 90% of my channel are in agreement. AFTV's viewership is very different, but we talk and we open eyes and we debate and we keep it moving. So yes, it will be mentioned in AFTV in the next few days. I am tired of hearing Robbie, Ty, and Julian waffle. Hashtag Kroenke out. Julian as well. Me and him have to have a sit down one day, and I'm gonna have to. You know what it is? I know I brought Julian on Supporters Club and it was a calm debate, but I'm going to need to tell Julian, listen, Julian, this is going to be a heated one, because if you want me to really have this debate with you, I'm going to get pissed off and I'm going to get angry with you and I'm going to don't take offense. And if he's up for it, we do it, because at the end of the day, I can't debate this situation without getting angry and emotional, because it's so evident to me that I shouldn't have to explain Stan Kroenke is a problem. I shouldn't have to explain that. So when people ask me to explain it, automatically I'm rattled. I'm rattled straight away. I'm just like, is this guy mad? Straight away. But yeah. Now, Ty's my guy, man. And even Ty, look at the first watch-along against Brentford. I think, was it the starting 11? I did the starting 11 and the watch-along for AFTV. I said to Ty, like, are you optimistic about the season? And Ty said, not really. It took him a while to answer. Like, yes, he's hopeful. And yes, he doesn't take shit about Arsenal. And yes, people do take the piss about that sometimes. But even Ty, who, is one of the most optimistic fans, knows where we are right now and it being a problem. So, I don't even know. 1,500 people here. Love for the love, people. Come on, it's been a little while. Done one of these one-on-ones and There's 1,500 of you here. 600 likes as well. I think we can get it up to 800, nearly 1,000. But, that's up to you guys. If you can just scroll up, hit the like button and scroll back. That's all you got to do. Yeah, Ty went to the under-23s game yesterday, and, that didn't even work out well. It's mad. Because when you look at Arsenal Football Club, the women's team, the young team, all of that has, dwindled in the Kroenke's ownership. Yes, now, Saka and Emil Smith-Rowe are gems coming through the academy. But the overall picture, it's not just the first team men's that have suffered. It's every team associated has suffered. Steve Sosa, come on, my guy. Another one that I haven't talked to in a little while. That conversation would be pay-per-view content. # for the culture. You know what? It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I'm telling you. And, it's going to happen. Big up Julian. Like, he's a massive Arsenal fan. Been going for time. He's a real Arsenal fan. Like, don't ever get it twisted. He's a real Arsenal fan. That's why I don't question people and like, are you a real Arsenal fan? All this stuff. Like, just because some people are delusional or don't really see the true problem doesn't mean they're not a true Arsenal fan. People are easily manipulated in life. People are blind to a lot of things in life. Like I keep on mentioning, some of the governments in charge here and across the world indicate that people can be easily blinded and easily led. So that goes for football too. Let's see what's going on. Onside. I had to read that out quickly because I was thinking, my man sent a super chat to start ripping me. What's going on here? He said, yo, Turkish, arrogant, petulant, unreasonable. How can you flirt with selling your star players, senior players, then expect them to trust your process? I'm talking about our manager. Love, bro. Come on, my guy. Love for the love. And I guess you're talking about Oba, and I haven't even touched on Oba and Laka yet. I will do. Let me just see if this super chat is along the same lines as what we're talking about now. Dane says, Turkish, I need to talk one-on-one with you. I'm here for the smoke. Can you send me a link so I can engage with you mentally? Real talk. Dane, what do you mean you're here for the smoke? Are you trying to say you're along the lines of Julian where you don't really see a problem with ownership and stuff like that? Just get back to me with that. I ain't sending no links out yet, but get back to me. And trust me, this can't be a spontaneous one because I'm going to have to, like I said, it's emotional when it gets to me and Kroenke and Arsenal Football Club because I can't see past him being the main problem. So I'm not hearing anything else. So let me know what kind of lane you're in, Dane, quickly. And I'm more for that. This season, I'm going to do more content with fans and whatnot. Has Ozil delivered in Fenerbahce, I see? Well, the other day he got an assist, but overall, no, he hasn't delivered. Let's see. Kroenke has ruined the women's team. Used to be the best team in the country, but lack of investment is peak. They got to go. That's what I'm saying. Overall, when I talk about Arsenal and I ask what positives are there, I say yes, Saka, Emil Smith-Rowe, Martinelli, the youngsters are actually a positive that have come about in the last 3 years. Because when Wenger left, there was no positive because we didn't have those young players there. Now we have them. It's the positive. But we can't only have that positive. Otherwise, those positives will end up leaving and it turns into a negative. You need to start fixing other areas of not only the men's team, but the club and the overall structure and get some winning mentality and ambition back. Dave said Chelsea apparently made 120 mil off of sales only this summer. I doubt that much, but I do believe they've made some money this summer, though. I do. When I look at the transfer market stuff, and because I do look at to see, so when people do throw back net spend at me and whatnot, I can, yes, our team net spend is greater than ours, but that's not an excuse. I mean, it's less than ours, but that's not an excuse for Kroenke. Their net spend is less than ours because they have a very well-run system where they can sell younger players and players in their academy to make money, so their net spend is less. So no, higher net spend is not an excuse for Kroenke. It's more evidence of this club being run poorly. This is what it's circles for me. Everything I can relate back to the Kroenkes, apart from, some of the Xhaka captaincy decisions and stuff like that. Karma says, Turkish, in a couple of years, FSG will be found out too. I agree with that. And I've said that before. Even though they have a good strategy, they don't put any money into the club. Very true. Like they hit the jackpot with Klopp and the structure. Klopp very shrewd with some signings. Massive asset in Coutinho. But at the same time, I believe there was a lack of forward thinking from the ownership. They was happy with the there and now, and then you look at the side now, it's aging a bit. There's little value in some players there. So it's going to be very difficult for them to keep competing the way they run the club. They're going to have to change their ways a bit for Liverpool to continue competing, in my honest opinion. They might compete this year, next year, but with the aging squads, I think, Liverpool fans are on the verge of flipping out at the ownership again. And the thing is, by the time Liverpool fans flip out FSG again, we might still have Kroenke, and you lot might still be angrier than us, because I look at United fans and I think, how are United fans angrier than Arsenal fans? Why are they angrier than us? We've been double the time that they've taken the piss out of us in comparison to Glazers and United. Dane says, Turkish, I want to have a conversation for both sides, the side of the owner and also for the fans as well. Trust me, I'm not here for clicks. No, Dane, this is what you do, Dane, yeah? Message me on Instagram or Twitter and tell me what platform you've messaged me on. And I'll have a chat with you and whatnot, and we'll talk and I'll see what we can do. Jashar in the building, my guy. Hope you're well, family, all good. Big up Turkish. Hope you're good, bro. Come on, G. You know I didn't have any expectations for this transfer window, but it's turning out even worse than I imagined. I never have expectations for the transfer window. I can set standards, but it will never, the expectations will never live up to the standards that I set for the club and what the ownership should be doing. Same for the season, to be honest. Like when I got asked about prediction for the start, I said 2-2, but in all honesty, I said 2-2 because still somewhere in the back of my mind, I still think maybe if I just be positive about the result, it might work. And imagine that's me being positive, 2-2 away to the newly promoted Brentford. And then imagine that's me being positive, and then imagine I was still wrong. It's crazy. Onside again. Turkish, detached, neglectful, everything but trustworthy. Liars. I'm talking about our owners. Love, bro. My guy, man. Hope you're good. Hope you're well. People, hit the like button. What are we on now? 713. How long are we in? 50 minutes or so in. I'm going to give it about 10 more minutes and then we keep it moving. I've got Forever Arsenal to film about 2:30. I want to take a little break in between. But yeah. Sophie's asking, Gooner Gossip TV, big ups. Subscribe to Gooner Gossip TV if you haven't already, because I'll be on that channel at some point this season. I know I haven't told you that, Soph. I was due to message you the other day, but I did forget. But at some point this season, we'll definitely do a vid together, because love for the support that you show me on Twitter and online. It's not often I get that from other platforms and whatnot, and especially on Twitter, so vocal. So big up you. Where do you think we'll finish this season? So anywhere from 6th to 10th, 11th, 12th. Similar to last season when Robbie asked me at deadline day, where will Arsenal finish? I said, Rob, 6th to 10th, in all honesty. 6th to 10th. And again, I've probably extended that from 6th to 12th. That's how I see it. Because there's no more inroads up. It looks like we've probably made more outroads down than inroads up, if that makes sense. I don't know if it fucking does, but it makes sense to me. Man said, who disliked the live already? Come on, you know you got haters, man. It is what it is, man. Few more questions in. Where are we? Let me scroll. AFC Bell. I know AFC Bell just tweeted. That guy is in for it this summer, because I'm telling you, don't let Bell get away with it when we sign Odegaard and not Maddison, because then it would, I'm telling you now, this Maddison and Odegaard thing is just a smoke screen. We'll get one, and that's going to be Odegaard because it's easier, and it's going to be a pipe dream, an urban legend that we went for Maddison as well. And we should be calm because we went for Maddison and we failed to get him. So that must mean the Kroenkes are going to change their ways. So give them another window, because we nearly got Maddison. It's going to happen. What's the date? 17th of August, 2 weeks left till the window ends. That's what we're going to start hearing. That thumbnail got me. Big up Kroenke out on Instagram and Twitter as well, at Kroenke out. Me and him communicate a lot, and anytime we do We do, well, it's not often we have done, but anytime we do plan anything, obviously we support each other in that. It's at Kroenke Out on Instagram, at Kroenke Out on Twitter. That's where I saw that clown picture of Kroenke. That's where I saw the protest that's planned this Sunday. And that's who planned the plane that was over the stadium at the end of 2019-20 season that said back Arteta, Kroenke out. And, you know, what's funny is I think we was all duped to try and be positive those times. And I remember we were saying for Kroenke to back Arteta, but in all honesty, Arteta's just shown himself to be another puppet now. You know, he's lost that support, or he's lost a lot of that support he had at the end of that season. And that was support for him. You know, the playing and whatever people say about being negative and all of that, the playing was support for Arteta and support for his process. And the only thing he's supported since is the Kroenkes. So, you know, you're full. You're full. What's this? Watch live streams for all games on TurkishLondon.com. I don't know what that's about, but maybe one day. Maybe one day. Arteta disliking the stream. I'm seeing more net spend talk again. It keeps shaking because of my elbow keeps on shaking the table, man, and the thing is connected. I need to sort that out. My bad, people. Where are we? Don't forget about Chris Wheatley. Ah, yes. How can we forget about Chris Wheatley and the biggest overhaul in Arsenal history? You know me. You know me. Even when I'm on AFTV, I say none of these, man. I don't care. Wheatley, Romano, Watts, they know a bit more than the other lot. But the other lot, for God's sake, it's just any guys. It's literally just any guys. I'm telling you guys, maybe I'll do it next year. I could start a Twitter and just name it inside. So I could just name something. And after about 10 tweets, I could probably be on 5,000 followers. After about 50 tweets, I could probably be on 20,000 followers. Because in the transfer window, a lot of these accounts create themselves off the back of media, fan hype and frenzy. So it's easy to know more than them. So when I say Chris Wheatley, Fabrizio Romano, Charles Watts, all of them know more than the other in the nose, it's because these other in the nose are just any Tom, Dick and Harry. So they're not really in the nose, it's a facade. So that's not even credit to Wheatley, Romano and Watts. If I rate any of the three, it's Romano more than the rest. The way Wheatley was sending for Romano earlier in the window, I just like, focus, my guy. If you're here for the people, why are you fucking going over there? Because since that little episode with Romano, he's been caught out a few times now, Wheatley. So maybe he should have kept his mouth closed. But it is what it is. Watts, on the other hand, Watts is very close to the company. I mean, the club and company. He's a fan. And don't get me wrong, Watts is a fan. And I rate him for some of the questions he brings at press conferences. I think he should do and I think he should do a lot more in terms of questioning. But at the same time, I also see him at the stadium a lot, with the club a lot. So I assume he's in there. So when you're in there, I don't expect these men to, take that silver spoon out of their mouths to be a voice for the people. Not many people do that in the public eye. Many people will turn their noses up and leave the people that essentially made them. The way of the world. The protest needs to do numbers. Listen, if you're in and around, please attend. I will be there, but I won't be at the game. I won't be at the game, that's for sure. You know what? I'm going to go to the protest and I'm going to come back and do the watch along on AFTV that day. I haven't told Robbie that yet, but that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to go to the protest and then about 4:15. I'll leave and then go and do the watch along, man, because I've got no desire, and I'll let you not know how it went. Free the wave god. Come on, G. Come on, my bro. Soon come as well. 2022 round the corner. He has to be out next year. They keep on flirting with it. Come on, Andy, my guy. I hope the protest is big, but I'm afraid the protest will be a letdown. I hear you, Andy. I mentioned this at the beginning of the show, and I can understand why people think it will be a letdown, but at the same time, I think we should still focus on what we can do. If the protest happens and it's 50 people, 200 people, 300 people, if it happens like that and it does seem a letdown, let's not focus on it being a letdown. Let's just move on to the next thing we can do, because that's how people and us fans start kind of not arguing with each other, but turning off each other in a sense and not aligning. If it is bad, it is bad. It's a shame. It's a shame. And it's a big, big shame. Trust me on that. No one will be hurt more than me if I go there and I see a poor letdown of a protest. But at the same time, I'm not going to leave it and then start dwelling on it being a letdown, because anyone who does show their face deserves credit. Anyone who comes out and shows support and shows that they care does deserve some credit, not to be labelled as part of a letdown, in a sense. It's a balance. Are you featuring in News Daily this week, says Andy? Yeah, I'll be on News Daily on tomorrow. I'll be on News Daily tomorrow. Who am I with? Who am I doing it with tomorrow? I swear, I forgot who I was doing it with, but it's not a regular. Yeah, I forgot who I was. Oh, me and Dan Potts. Come on. That's going to be a good one. Me and Dan Potts tomorrow on News Daily on AFTV. Make sure you guys are there. That is definitely going to be a good one. Trust me, Will. Trust me, Will. Even if the protest is small, it will just keep building each time. And my thing about what I was saying, Andy, is I done a protest in 2019. Monday morning, only 40, 50 people showed up. Cool. A protest happened nearly 2 years later, before Everton, off the Super League stuff, thousands. A protest happened before Brighton, hundreds. If I compare it to the Everton protest, a letdown, a shambles. If I compare it to the protest I held 2 years ago, growth, development, more numbers, more voices. So that's why I wouldn't call any a letdown. It's just continue to build on it. Continue to build on it and don't put others off being a part. Because let's say you got 50 people there and 50 people go out to voice their opinion on something, and in the backlash after from the same fan that of the club they support say, what a letdown. Look at them people there. What a letdown. Some of those 50 will be put off turning up to the next one, because they'll be like, my name and picture got circulated. People called it a letdown. People laughed at me about it. Fam, people laughed at me for the protest in 2019. Never to my face. Online and all of that rubbish. People laughed, people mocked it. Do you think I give a shit? I keep moving. We move and go again. That's all we can do. We go again. Man said, please remember it's a protest, not a carnival or a fucking clapathon. Let's not forget that. But listen, people, still 1,500 here, 820 likes. Get it up to 1,000 before the video ends. I'm about to dip out and I'll come back again maybe tomorrow afternoon for another chat. On any developments around Arsenal. I need to start doing a lot more of these. Look at the support, 1,500 here live, 800 likes. First one for a little while. I missed Brentford preview and review. But love you guys as always. Cronke out. Love G, come on. Real ball talk, my guy, the G Turkish. No matter what happens with the protest, Arteta will be forced to answer questions about it. I'm seeing a lot of tickets are still available. Another great signs. We need to do it. Are you there, yeah? If you're there, shout me, my guy. We'll link up for sure. We'll link up 100%. 100%. We'll even get you on an interview as well, man. We're trying to get more fans' opinions and voices out on AFTV too. So if you're in and around, if you know me, shout me, you can sort something out. I'll swear. If you think I should do that. Well, you know what, me and Matisse are doing Box to Box. So Box to Box is a new show on AFTV. Every week, me and another fan. This week, I'm going to have Matisse on it. Last week, I had Billy the Bee. The week before, I had Tobes. So you're going to see a lot of the big six cast on there. Wherever I can bring someone in, I'll bring someone in. So me and Matisse are recording Box to Box tomorrow. That'll probably be out Friday-ish, maybe even Thursday, to be honest. So look out for that. I'll be on News Daily tomorrow, 6 p.m. Look out for that. What else is there to say? Not much more to say, people. Yeah, they're coming. They're coming, my guy. They're coming. They're coming. I'm just fed up of this club. I'm fed up of talking about it. I'm fed up. Like I said at the beginning of the video, 90 minutes doesn't really mean much anymore. The problem's much bigger than analyzing performances every week. But I guess it's got to be done. Love for the love, people. We will be back again tomorrow. Our AFTV going to be at the protest. I am. I think Cecil is. We haven't all talked yet, so I don't know. Like I said, I'm at home right now. I'm not at the office. I'm not at the studio. I know I'm there, you know. So we'll see. But yeah, people. Sorry, I was just reading through the comments. Love. I am out. Peace.